Another thing that's kind of interesting, and we forget about it, and it's easy to forget about. But David Price had a pretty dramatic impact on this team, even when he wasn't pitching.
Mm-hmm.
And we can remember him sitting at the top step, putting his name in the lineup, putting his batting gloves in his back pocket, just kind of reminding everybody, hey, this is a big game. And you know what? That's missing. I just think that's missing from this team. And, you know, we talk about how he made everybody better, and I think that aspect of this team, you know, Jason Grilli brings that. We see it every day with his emotion and everything else. But, you know, it's just like, fellas, you're running out of time here, and you got to win some games. And sooner or later, the good teams figure out a way to win. And if these Blue Jays can't figure out a way to win in the next 2 weeks, you know, they'll be sitting on the sidelines.
Why is that missing, Buck? Because you got a bunch of veteran guys on this team. You've got guys who've been in the postseason before.
Personalities, Stephen.
Yeah.
It's just different personalities. I mean, David Price has always been a top step guy, and there's, you know, Russell's kind of quiet, and Tulo's kind of quiet, and Pillar's a rookie, and you know, Donaldson has, you know, he's not. There's not that intensity that certain guys can bring, and there's very few of those guys nowadays. Because in this day and age, teammates don't get on each other like they did when we played.
Mm-hmm.
Hal McRae would come up to your face and meet you at the top step and say, you got to get that guy over. I'm going to drive him in. You get him over. That's your job. And if you don't, you're going to deal with me. But you don't see players doing that much anymore, and that's just the way the game is. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people come from different places, you know. All this team is a conglomeration of trades, free agency, guys coming up, you know. There's not that consistency that you grow together and you're playing with your brothers. You know, everybody talks about it. Marcus talks about it all the time. Well, he's playing with a lot of his brothers that he came up through the minor league system with, and that's the way you feel. But when you have so many people coming and going, look how long it took Tulo to get comfortable in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And he's as good a team player as there is. But when you come into a new atmosphere and you have different players coming from different eras, I mean, Russell's been with this team for a year and a half now, and he's still not that fiery, outgoing guy that can call somebody out in the dugout and walk down the other end and say, hey, you know, you got to pull your, you know what, out of your behind and let's go. And that doesn't happen much anymore on any team, unless you're all together. You know, like the Red Sox have been all together. All those kids have grown up. Pedroia's been the keeper of the bench in the clubhouse, and he keeps everybody in line.